we're going to have a look at post-session ratings, exploring the types of questionnaire or activity we could do with the user at the end of a session. Why we would do that? Well, at the end of a session, the users had a chance to explore different types of tasks out to see how different things work, potentially to compare different products or prototypes or versions together. It's a good opportunity at this point then to ask them for those overarching aspects about what they thought about the system overall. Did they think it was broadly usable? Would they recommend it? And so on and so forth. So they give us a good way to capture those overarching experiences. If we are running multiple sessions with groups of users, the same group or different groups, the post-session ratings also give us a way of tracking those sort of high-level sentiments that cover the whole system, and over time to check to see what sort of changes we are seeing over time. Are the users becoming more satisfied? Do they feel that certain elements are improving? And so on. If we are using different prototypes and different versions and showing them that as well, at the end of a session, that's a good opportunity to say, okay, you've seen the first one, you've seen the second one. Well, how would you rate them? Would you prefer this? Would you prefer that? So there's lots of things that we can ask appropriately within a post-session, be it questionnaire or interview or chat with the user. So I have a couple of examples here of different types of post-session activity. Similar to our post-task activities, there's no right or there's no wrong approach here. It really depends on what we want to measure. I just want to give you an example of a couple of different techniques that are established. But for you, in terms of designing your own tests, it really is based on what you want to measure, and then how do you feel that questionnaires or other types of activities can support the measurement of that. But we have a few examples. The first one is it's a long established one. It's the System Usability Scale, the SUS, developed by Brooke in '96. So for this one, we have 10 statements, 5 positively worded, 5 negatively worded. We're using a 5-point scale as well. And there's a published metric for, depending on how you rate these, it'll turn the answers into a overall evaluation or score between 0 to 100. And because the system usability scale has been used in a number of different tests, it enables benchmarking then to happen. And crudely, if you use the SUS scale and you're getting a response of 70 and above, that indicates then that the users felt the system was broadly good. If it's less than 50, that indicates the users thought the system wasn't that good, and 50 to 70 is in that kind of sort of marginal overlapping value. But you can have a look at that. There's online calculators for it, so you may want to use that specifically or to use some of the questions inside it. The Computer System Usability Questionnaire, again, is another long established one. It consists of 19 statements that are from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Again, there's an average point, and is segmented into sort of 4 different areas that look at the usefulness, the quality of information, the interface that was provided, and the user's overall satisfaction. Again, quite a long established survey. You can have a look at some of the questions that they use and think, well, do these measure things that you're interested in measuring? Product reaction cards is quite an interesting one, from Benedict and Miner from Microsoft. So back in just after 2000, they presented a set of basically flashcards containing individual words, and they showed the user a collection of all of these words, and the words, they contain things like, is it desirable, is it difficult, is it busy, is it calm? Lots of different sort of adjectives then that describe aspects of it. Some of the words positive, some of them negative. And the users were asked to go through the complete set of words and to pick anything they felt was an appropriate descriptor of the system. And that gives them a set of words. And then from that they were asked to pick, well, what do you think are the 5 most significant words from the set that they've picked? And then to talk about why they've selected those 5 words. So it provides a really quite richly qualitative way of engaging with the user and getting some insights into what they think and what was motivating the choice of words. We can also use it quantitatively in terms of measuring how frequently words or word groupings were selected by our users. So that's all I want to cover inside this section. It's 3 quick examples of the types of post-session activity that can be done with the users. But the key part, the key element of this is that you use something that supports the type of thing that you want to measure. Now this actually brings us to the end of our session looking at user reported metrics, and we're going to then summarize this whole session in the next video.